Mine?
Your writing or your work?
How do I say that? Because before I started formally teaching, I was studying, and then I taught. So I'm now assistant professor at the School of Theology. So, and then before I went to theology, as part of my religious formation, I taught at Regency at Senior High School. So there is not, my saying, I was not writing before I teach, rather it was sections of my own life. Okay, so, but because I did some writing and I did some research, that helped me now in my teaching.
So parang you were supplements to each other.
Yeah, but it was not as if I'm doing it at the same time. I did it at different periods of my life as a Jesuit. But it helped me because of my writing and my research to be able to teach well the courses, or at least the best I can, the courses that I am now teaching. Okay? What do I teach? I call them teaching the ministries of interiority. What are they? I'm teaching a group of seminarians how to hear confessions. Okay? I teach spiritual direction. I teach giving retreats.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the three. They're not taught in an ordinary college course, no? But they are they're taught in graduate school, especially for those who are preparing for the priesthood or religious life. Okay? But also there are lay people, especially in the area of spiritual direction and giving retreats. Mostly campus ministers.
When we looked you up in the internet, we saw that you gave a lot of retreats. So, nisip namin na parang baka perfect nga siya to parang ma-combine namin yung project with yung experience mo with it. So,
but it's my experience of giving retreats and my experience in giving spiritual direction that informs my teaching of them. Kumbaga, it puts flesh. Okay? It's different if you read a book on spiritual direction or how to give a retreat from the very experience of giving it.
Actually giving it talaga. It's different talaga from reading it. It's actual doing it.
Yes. Yes. So in a sense, the experience helped me, at least until now, to inform and to what I teach. And because if that is just the case, you can just tell them, read this article, read this book, and then, but that's not how it is done. It's also through your experience, and they learn more about it.
Father, what would you say is the most important message or crux of yung mga literary works?
What literary works?
Yung translations and yung thesis nyo, yung you said. Ano yung like message nyo talaga?
For me, ano kasi, especially the one on my doctoral thesis, the things that I wrote about there come from the experience of people. You see, my area of specialization is in pastoral theology. Okay? And pastoral theology, on the one hand, is about ministry, about minister being leading in a particular field, whether it's spiritual direction, retreat, or hearing confession. But it's also practical. Okay? It's the practical side of theology, of religion, if you want. Okay? That's why all my classmates are all practicing ministers in that field of theology. And therefore, it is the experience of doing this spiritual direction, giving, even the experience of hearing confession, that somehow helped me in my teaching. Okay? put it in another way, there are very few books that you can find on how to help people prepare for hearing confessions.
I would imagine parang hirap naman din the way you're hearing
Oo.
confession tapos you're reading it out of a book. Parang it's weird.
But at least the practical part of it did not come from them. I sort of, use a certain outline. It arose from teaching people how to hear confession and from my own experience.
So parang it's hard to like get stuff blindly lang from other things without actually doing it yourself.
What I'm trying to say is that it's not enough that you get it from books.
Yeah.
It's very important because it also arose from the experiences of these people who wrote from these books, like my own experience of writing my thesis. But ultimately, what you teach, okay, significantly, if it's going to have an impact, does not only come from your research, but from your experience of doing it. That's my, if you want to find the crux of the matter for me, okay, doing the more practical side of theology, okay, your effectiveness as a teacher of that does not come only from what you have read and from what other people have researched on and from their own experience. What will make add flesh, if you want, or put more flesh to what you're teaching are your own experiences also. Very important because it enriches your teaching, but it's not enough. At least when I'm talking of the practical side of theology.
So, Father, going back to your work naman, kamusta yung, how was it received by when it got published na? Have you received any notable remarks or critiques or reactions from your work?
I actually I asked 4 or 5 people to do something on the MA thesis, okay? So I got it from them before it came out of the press, and it's part of the book. So they have their comments on there.
So meron na po sila dun sa actual book?
2 of them were part of my board.
Your board?
The board for the examination of my thesis, okay? The other 3 is because they sort of read it and they like it. So
generally, what did they say naman po, Father?
okay naman, it's also in that book.
So we're gonna have to like get a copy talaga.
Yeah, I don't have a copy here. I have it in my.
No, it's okay, Father. We'll just look for it.
I don't know if your father.
Your dad ko ata, Father meron siya.
Oh.
No, yeah.
So yun. The other one, it's never been published and no published because I was not wanting also. There is one, but I gave it to one publisher, but unfortunately he said it's a bit too narrow a field for us. Okay, so we cannot publish it, but maybe we can help you publish it, for example, in a more religious, so I have not been able to publish that. But there are comments of those of the examiner who did it, and generally the feedback was okay naman. It was good.
You touched on this na kanina, Father. How effective are books when it comes to like supplementing our own beliefs? Talaga? In your opinion, how effective are books when it comes to supplementing books, in supplementing our beliefs? In your opinion, lang, Father. You said that kanina parang personal experiences are more important talaga.
Actually, what comes into my mind at the moment is one fellow Jesuit priest. He says, and he got it also from another old